Godzilla was a 1998 film that was directed by Roland Emmerich. Now, I not only want to review this movie because of the new Godzilla coming out, but also because I have quite an interesting relationship with this film as far as what I've thought about it over the years. First, let's get into the plot. You see that this huge, giant, dinosaur-like creature has arrived in New York City. So the military, and I guess more importantly Matthew Broderick, are trying to figure out what this is, what it wants, and how they can stop it. As simple as that. When this came out in 1998, I was 9, not even 10 years old yet. So I remember seeing it in the theater, and I remember loving this movie. Maybe it had something to do with my fascination of dinosaurs, my love for Jurassic Park. I don't know, there was just something about this film and the concept of Godzilla that I loved. Now, a couple of years ago, I rewatched this movie for the first time in who knows how many years. And that experience watching it then was wow. I hated the movie. I was like, this movie is terrible. The plot is ridiculous. The characters are so unlikable. The script is just atrocious. Rewatching it again now, it's still not that good. But it's not terrible. I'm not going to give this a fuck you. Let me see where I could start. Should I start with the good or the bad? I should start on a positive note. What I like about this movie is Godzilla himself. You're going to get some Godzilla purists, people that probably watched the original Japanese Godzilla movies. I've only seen parts of them. It's not like I'm the biggest Godzilla original fan. So I understand why people just on that level alone don't like the way Godzilla looks in this movie. This picture especially, he looks really ugly and just grotesque looking. But clearly that's what they were going for. And there's something about the pure size of this thing. The scenes where you see him running through the city and the military helicopters are chasing after him. Great action scenes. They look awesome. I mean, for 1998, the special effects surprisingly still hold up. There's some scenes where, yeah, the CGI looks really dated, but still, I'm really impressed with how good the effects look. And if it wasn't for those action scenes and the effects, this movie probably wouldn't be watchable. Matthew Broderick as the main character, look, I don't think he's a bad actor. Obviously, this guy's been around for years. He's done some movies that people love. Nyctotopoulos. It is a funny ongoing joke that people can't get his last name right. But I can't buy this guy, this worm scientist, as the lead, as the one that stops Godzilla. It's kind of bullshit. Look, I would completely understand the need to have a character like that, the one to maybe figure out what's going on, but I think this movie would have been so much better if we followed a soldier, or followed somebody who, maybe even just a regular civilian, who I could buy to go through this situation, or that I would at least care enough to follow going through the situation. It doesn't help that his girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend, she's an inspiring reporter, and they dated back in college, and when she sees that he's working with the military, she goes, oh, this is my chance to run into him and use this to get a story going to hopefully become a reporter. And you go, wow, not only are you a bitch, but you're so unlikable. Her acting is pretty bad as well. These aren't the characters that I want to be following throughout the film. I will say that some of the military soldiers I did like Sergeant O'Neill. I thought he was an interesting character. He's not in it a whole lot, but you see him at the beginning. He's a little timid. He doesn't know at all how to handle the situation. Who would? But by the end of it, he becomes smarter, and you believe that he could lead the army to stop this thing. Jean Reno, he's the French guy, the insurance guy. I like this actor. He used to be in a bunch of movies back in the 90s. He's kind of one of the few who is taking this threat, this Godzilla, this whole movie seriously. When the movie gets to a point where it's Godzilla has like 200 eggs in Madison Square Garden. I remember when I rewatched it, I thought this was a really dumb idea. I just didn't care to see Godzilla babies running around Madison Square Garden. Watching it this time, I thought, okay, I still don't know how much I care that this movie turned into this, but the action scenes, the main characters being chased throughout the garden, there was some level of excitement and fun to it. I know. A lot of stuff in this movie is corny, and that's the definition of Roland Emmerich and his movies. He likes to have these big, epic, disaster-like movies, but shoehorn in comedy that is just so unfunny, so bad to watch, cringe-worthy to watch. Some of it doesn't work. A lot of it doesn't work. But there are some moments that make me go, okay, this is kind of fun. There is that 10-year-old side of me that sort of misses big movies like this that had fun and that were more popcorn-like movies. But obviously, the older I am, the more need that I have to see a movie like this taken more seriously. And it's like, can you have a balance? Can you have a movie like this taken seriously while still have those fun elements and just want to have a feel-good type movie? I don't know if you can balance that out. When you get to the very end of the film and it's Godzilla's last chase going after the main characters, that's when it gets the most silly and most goofy with Godzilla, and you're like, wow, they're making Godzilla the most dumb creature. Like, he's falling all over the place, he can barely chew down the cab without Matthew Broderick putting electrical wire in its tooth. And then when the military kills Godzilla, you kind of sit there and you go, wow, I don't really want to see the lead character, the name title, get killed in its own movie. It's sad. It's weird that I was rooting for Godzilla, but I was. The last shot, when you see that there is one egg left and it hatches, I know that they wanted to do a sequel to this. In many ways, I'm glad they never did a sequel, because if it was going in this direction, who knows how more over the top the sequel would have been. Would I have cared to see all these characters come back? Definitely not. This movie, again, I'm going to say I don't hate it. You could say it's the 10-year-old side to me who grew up on this, that still finds enjoyment out of it, but I still think the action is thrilling. I still think the special effects are pretty damn good. It's just the characters, the acting, some of it is half-assed. The writing is atrocious. It's a mixed bag. I know I'm so back and forth on this. I don't hate it. There's a part of me that wants to like it. There's some stuff that I just can't like about it. I'm going to say Godzilla isn't terrible, but it's not that good either. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the 1998 Godzilla movie? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!